It's an interesting book because it gives you a British perspective, and it's interesting that British pounds for some of the valuations. So.
Oh, it was printed in England.
Yeah, and not only that, when I found it, and started reading it when I got home, it's from 1994, so it's over 20 years old.
Really? It looks brand new.
Well, that's not the interesting thing. Of course, we both know what's happened in the last 20 years. I mean, the boom and everything, the internet changed everything. Of course, here's showcase number 4 that started the Silver Age in 1956. Classic key, the key in the Silver Age.
Wow.
Yeah, check it out.
That's amazing. Can you imagine owning a book like that?
Oh yeah, that'd be the keystone of any collection.
Oh man.
Wow.
Yeah. Of course, now we come to the post-Silver Age or the Bronze Age from post-1970. And of course, we'll be talking about this baby here.
Yeah, the 70s, the 80s are probably when I collected the most.
Yeah, exactly. Another seismic shift in comics, yes.
Yeah.
And of course, the new era, when we kind of started, late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah. See, everybody cuts up the Dazzler, but I'm a fan of the Dazzler, and she's got her #1 issue in this book, so I think that's pretty cool.
I've got Dazzler #1 too.
So any of the guys that don't like Dazzler, just screw you.
It's not her first appearance, but that's in the X-Men comics. But it had a small fan base, but a dedicated fan base. So that's all that matters.
She's still kicking today, man.
Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome back. Welcome back to our newest our newest comic collecting episode, and we've got some really fantastic books for you to see tonight. And as usual, I got my good friend here, Jose, and my friend Mike. Special guest Mike, yeah. So we are going to, let's not waste any more time because we got some really great books to show you. We're going to head over to the other area and get started. Okay, so here we go. We're going to start with Mike tonight. This first beautiful book belongs to Mike, and it's obviously Giant Size Superstars #1. Wow, Mike, this is a really fantastic book. So talk to me. Where'd you get this?
I got this at the Comic-Con. This is May 1974. Again, we've mentioned Pendragon a lot of times. He had 2 copies of this, and he goes, and I'm looking at him going, why is one like $30 more than the other?
Yeah.
And a closer look, this one is twice as thick.
Okay.
The density of this book, it's never been pressed, it's never been crushed by a collection. It is in its actual normal state.
So what you're saying, it's never
like
sat in someone's closet with a bunch of boxes on top of it.
Babied this. Like, it's brand freaking new. It's awesome.
Wow.
So you had to have it.
Yeah, that's a great book, Mike. And, you know, I don't have a whole lot of these giant size special issues. In fact, I got to be honest, I don't have any of them.
This is the only thing. I think this is one of the only ones I have. I'd have to check, but yeah.
And Pendragon's one of those stores we frequent a lot. Pendragon's kind of a funny store. Sometimes you get really good prices from him. Yeah. Other time he's right out the lunch.
I tell you right now, I did pay a little too much for this book, and it was at the con where he was doing a discount. So it brought it back down to what the price of the lesser book was, but it is just the condition.
Yeah. So. But yeah, it is. It's pristine. Obviously, I think the most prominent area here, we can tell how beautiful it is. It's right there in the corner. Look at how white it is. Yeah, it's perfect. So yeah, it does.
If I tilt it forward, it's twice as thick. It's twice as thick as any other copy I've seen.
And we're talking about a book from 1974.
74.
So what's 74, 84, 94, 2004? We're talking 32 years old, and it looks like it just was printed yesterday. But awesome. Yeah, amazing.
Off the shelf.
And the next book of the night, a really, really nice copy of Silver Surfer #13. And wow, Mike, talk to me. Where'd you get this one from?
I got this from my local shop just up the street, which is
Altered States.
Altered States. I keep forgetting.
It's funny because we don't mention Altered States that much, and it's and yet we're there all the time.
I'm there every Wednesday. I'm there early. They usually deal in newer books, and they carry every independent as well, which a lot of other stores don't. So that they have the cutting edge there. So I mean, they're a store that was burnt down, and then they survived and reappeared.
Opened up a new location.
About a block away.
Yeah.
But they do have some stuff up on the wall that they do buy occasionally, collections and stuff like this. This they had for $70.
Really?
I said, pull that down. Let me look at it. I looked at it. Do you have room? He said, I can give it to you for $50 because you're a regular. Okay.
That's cool. And in fact, that was one of the things I was going to mention when you told me you got this at Altered States. The fact that you got like a vintage comic book there is strange because we almost never get our vintage books from Altered States because they don't have that many.
Their display wall, you have to look up. No one looks way up. If you look way up, they've got some nice old books there.
Yeah.
They do change from time to time. You just got to look because they will buy the old and flip them. So.
And this is a bit of a key too, isn't it?
Yeah, man. This is first appearance of Doomsday Man and Dr. Cronton. I don't know how long these guys stay in the universe or whatever. I think Doomsday Man does. Is in a few books. So near mint, this would be $180 US.
Yeah.
Now this, they had VF written on it for $70. He gave it to me $50, like I said. 126 US bucks. This is a gorgeous book.
And just so you know, that the prices we got here, the near mint at 180 and the VF at 126, these prices were pulling off Comic Book Realm. So if you go to different sites, you could see something a little bit different.
You can see the variance, but when I see that kind of room, I love it. And now the cover, they're all classics. John Buscema, Don Atkin, and Murray Seven.
The female artist, we mentioned her last week, Marie Severin.
Yeah.
Fantastic book, Mike, and I love the quality because it looks like it just came off the comic book rack yesterday.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, thanks for bringing it in.
No problem.
And as usual, Jose wouldn't be Jose if he wasn't being high-end Jose. He never comes with just like a regular book. He's always got to come with something that's so outrageously expensive. Well, not outrageously, but something that's so expensive that most people, are really going to have to budget to purchase. And here we've got a really, really nice copy of Iron Man #2. So Jose, man, talk to me.
Okay, well, this is a direct response, or the military would say blowback, for you dropping that A-bomb on us and getting the #1 issue.
Iron Man #1, yeah.
You've just heated up the Cold War. Readers who know, we have a little bit of a competitive nature here, so while I quite couldn't respond to a #1, I did the next big thing and picked up this late Silver Age gem there. A #2. It's not a high grade, actually. It's about a VG, about a 4, and Sandy's pretty good. Sandy's always good with me. The VG's price is $26. Actually, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, this was $40 Canadian, or about $25-26 US. So relatively inexpensive.
See, that's a steal at $40. And the only reason I didn't buy it out from Monday is you bought it the same week I bought my Gamora my Hot Toy Gamora. So
yeah, I know. Actually, on the Overstreet guide, this is sometimes where you have to do a little bit more research on it. It doesn't list it as any kind of a key, but it has the first appearance of the Demolisher. Of course, it has also the death of the Demolisher. And actually, the Demolisher there you see in the background. He's the coolest thing about the cover. I like that retro 50s robot. But more importantly, it also has the first appearance of Janice Cord. Now, what would Tony Stark and Iron Man comics be without a love interest? Well, pretty boring, and that's what this issue gives us. Well, at least for a bit anyway. She would die about 20 issues later, and I think Iron Man 22 in a battle royale between Titanium Man, Crimson Dynamo 3, and Iron Man.
Oh, how happy is that?
Well, I mean, it was dangerous dating Tony Stark back maybe in those days,
I guess so.
Yeah, so Iron Man #2 has the first appearance of Janice. She's the daughter of Drexel Cord, whose company, Cord Industries, is a direct competitor of Stark Industries. Now, the cover by Johnny Craig has the story of the Demolisher, which is script by Archie Goodwin. Her father's plan is to destroy Iron Man with his company's robot creation, the Demolisher, who ends up having a very short-lived, of course, career, dying there. It's not a major key, and pretty much a sleeper, actually, for an Iron Man comic, even though it is a second issue. But like I said, like I pointed out, it is a key issue. Now, I wish the grade was a little higher, of course. It's only about a VG, and like I said, but you know what? You can afford to get it. Iron Man, even with the exposure of the movies, with Robert Downey Jr. and in Avengers.
Yeah.
I was looking there, for about $90, 89 US, or 120 Canadian for VF, an 8, or 9.2, $300 US. I mean, that's relatively
It's
inexpensive.
a good price, yeah.
These are what's called sleepers. Like I said, but having said that, like I said, if you'd been prescient enough to buy these things 7 to 10 years ago before the magic of the movies, like you would have gotten a fraction of those prices.
For sure. Now, I think we've discussed this before. For the most part, I would say of all the major Marvel characters, Iron Man represents the best value.
Yes, he does.
It hasn't really gone skyrocketing
outside of his very first appearance. Yeah, you could be correct in saying, and there is quite a few keys to mine in the actual first series, the Iron Man, of course, of which the major one for me, the Grail of which is 55.
Yeah.
Not so much for the Iron Man of it, as you know, it's because of the first Thanos and the first Drax and a host of other first appearances in that book. That's my key Grail.
And me and Mike were looking through the book earlier, and the pages look great. There's a little bit of yellowing. I'd say the only major, I'm not even going to call it a major imperfection. If you look at the back, you're going to see there's the 2 crease marks, but
they're wrinkles. They're not rips.
They're not rips. They're just wrinkles. Yeah. But it's quite a nice book. Again, it's a mid-grade, but it's all there. And
it's a high-low grade. I mean, four is my unofficial threshold. I mean, I've looked at grades below 4s, and they're tough aesthetically anyway to buy. So anything below a 4, I try to stay away from. And even if it's a major key, I'd rather save up my money and get a slightly higher grade.
Sure. Okay. Well, it's a fantastic book, Jose, and wow. Thanks for showing it today. Cool.
No problem.
Okay, so this next book is Mike's. Now, we go on about Jose a lot because he likes to buy all these high-end books, but every once in a while, Mike comes along and just gives the old body slam to Jose, the old pile driver.
Damn straight. I mean, I'm a little tired in his last few videos of hearing high-end Jose.
High-end Jose.
You know, I've been in the game for a little longer than he has.
Yeah.
And so, just thought I'd bring this over. Haven't shown it yet. This is Daredevil 168. This is Frank Miller. It's the first appearance of Elektra, and oh yes, this is a 9.4.
This is a beautiful book, and this is obviously a major key, Jose. And I'm sorry,
everybody.
I'm calling you
Not
Jose.
Just Jose, everybody.
So okay, where did you get the book from?
Again, I got this from the same guys that I got the last book from.
Altered States?
Altered States had 158 and 168. So I did pay 170 Canadian, I think, for it, but it is worth, in a 9.4, about 220 US. Like, I always look at the sites and look at what, I don't know, I'm always at the cons, and that's a fair... It's a little lower than it's a good price.
Yeah.
It's a deal. A deal is a deal. So why not? Put some money in the pocket of the guys who supply me with the new stuff all the time.
Sure. Well, Mike, it is a fantastic book, and the condition is unbelievable. Thanks for bringing it. This is amazing. See, now I have to pick up this book because I can't let that stand still. You getting a book like this without me also having one. So I think that's what I'm going to do at this year's Comic-Con. In 3 weeks, I'm going to find this book, and I'm going to get it at a better price than you.
Well, we're competitive, so try it.
Cool. Okay. And for the last book of the night, of course, Jose comes in with an old Sidewinder here. A real beautiful book. And this really needs no introduction, but I'll introduce it anyways. This is Conan #1.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh yeah, some Bronze Age goodness from October 1970. Not only does this issue have the first comic book adaptation, including the origin of the pulp stories from Robert E. Howard, Conan, this book, I think, will be getting a nice jump in demand. Why? Why now? It's due to the news that a new Conan movie is in the works, starring none other than Arnold Schwarzenegger himself. That's right. Now, the man who first brought the Conan character to life on the silver screen is back and returning to the role in a movie entitled tentatively Legend of Conan or Conan the Conqueror.
Cool.
Now, just because Arnie's older doesn't mean that we should expect some kind of light fare for Conan. Arnold plans to reprise his star-making role as Conan the Barbarian one more time, and the project in question, which has thus been known as The Legend of Conan, would be a direct sequel to the 1982 classic that largely ignores the 84 sequel, Conan the Destroyer, and has no connection at all whatsoever to the 2011 Conan reboot.
Oh, that's
so it thus fulfills the promise of the final scene in the film where Arnold, as an old and bearded Conan, is shown next to the king sitting on the throne.
Yeah, yeah.
And we got CGC now. So
Yeah,
that's awesome.
but no, the film has a finished script. It's got attributions to Chris Morgan. Now, he's the guy who has penned the Fast and Furious movies, but it's got Oscar-nominated screenwriter Andrea Berloff, the guy from Straight Outta Compton, involved in it. So it's got a solid script, you know?
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah, no, we're looking forward to that. Like he said, a lighthearted Conan. No, by Crom, no. The tone is the logical extension of the character established in the 82 film, but 30 years later. Perfect.
I love that
Perfect.
film.
Perfect. Yeah, when we meet him again, Conan has been many things over the course of his life. A thief, warrior, a pirate, king, a legend, and now he's an older man. Think of it as Unforgiven, but with a sword-wielding barbarian.
Nice!
Yeah, so this is why here, why now, a nice mid-grader, about a 6.65 from Sandy. Shout out to Retro Rare, my book of the month. I paid $125, roughly 75, 80 bucks Canadian. At that grade, raw, they're dropping for about $1.65, $1.70 US. So it's definitely a book to get CGC. Now, when would we use CGC stuff? I should mention I'm getting about 22 books CGC through Sandy, so a big bill, and this is going to be probably one addition to it. This book I would get it, the Iron Man 2, no. This book is in a high enough range as far as grade that there's an upside, whereas the Iron Man will always be about a VG. You'd be wasting your money getting that CGC.
Yeah.
But with this book, comes back a 6.5 or God forbid a 7, I'm in the money.
Yeah, and me and Mike opened the book, and the cover is great. It's nice, nice mid high.
6.5, yeah.
Yeah, and you see me smelling the books is because I'm checking for mildew and musk and stuff like that. Because there are books that are so bad sometimes that your eyes water when you open them.
You have to quarantine books, I call them.
And that will actually
Yeah.
detour the value of it. This is a little off of fresh newsprint.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It's good. I think the grade that he's saying
It's not stinky.
And as
It's
you can,
not stinky at all.
and as you can see by
It's nice. It's really nice.
Hey, it's a 46-year-old book, man. It's 1970. It's almost as old as I am.
yeah.
It don't stink.
And as you can see by some of the corners, the close-ups I'm shooting here, it's slightly rounding of the corners, a little bit of imperfection, but overall,
Spine is pretty damn good, and it's got a nice, clean cover.
It's a very, very nice.
It has a lot going for it. It's a nice mid-grader.
Yeah. So I'd say, Jose, you scored here. I'd say you scored. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. And if you like what you saw, leave a comment. We like reading them. And if you like the video, click that little thing with the finger sticking up that says like.
Thumbs up.
Yeah. And we'll see you next time. And yeah, thanks for watching.
High-end Jose, signing off. Hoi hoi.
Special guest Mike.
Special guest Mike.
Low and slow, baby.